Do you think that the technology and how it impacts on tourism, we know it's very important, but there are lots of people who still are not fully aware of probably the platforms, which is the best method. I mean, how does some of these, let's say, seminars help that cause?
Absolutely. It's a learning curve for everyone. It's very much getting involved in it and basically testing it and see what you want to gain from that social media interaction. It's not right for everybody, but it's the option is there, and it's basically just putting your toe in the water and experiencing it, finding out, learning from the content as well, what other people have been interacting in on the social media, whether it's through Twitter, Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube content, or whether they're actually developing their own blogs as well. So it's finding out what people else have done and seeing how that best fits with your plans as well of how to reach out to that marketplace.
You know, everyone is complaining about the slowdown, yet we know that people do not try to change their travel plans. They're still traveling, but yet you hear hotels talking about the occupancy level being low. You know, what are you hearing this year?
Absolutely, as we said before, it's challenging times for all. You could look at figures dating back from two to 3 years ago and try and compare them to where we are now, but it's not like for like in those occupancy rates. So it's challenging times for all, and those percentages, we're seeing an increase in outbound tourism or numbers of visits taken by UK people. However, how do you compare that to? That's compared to last year, but let's not compare eggs with eggs, basically.
You know, in terms of taxation, that's so very important in our industry, and we know what's happening out of England, especially to the Caribbean. What do you see the future to be? I believe that they are going to be meeting with some of the English ministers, but this provides a lot of revenue for the English Treasury. Do you see any hope on the horizon?
I think it's that whole communication piece between the strong lobbying companies and industry associations of trying to get the ministers as well to listen to the people at the grassroots and how that is affecting the long haul destinations in particular. So it's that constant lobbying and education perspective. It's an easy taxation to do from the UK. However, let's have a look at the impact that would have on those people that's going to be affecting as well.
Well, in closing, I must ask you about the Caribbean region. You know, the Caribbean has always been a very attractive place to visit, but yet things are very competitive. What do you see from here, the UK-Europe market, and the travel trends into the Caribbean? Does it look good or not so good?
I'm not really limited to be able to talk about that. All I can say is that from a world travel market perspective, it's great to have the Caribbean, the vibrancy, the energy that provides to the event through the destinations. They do have the wow factor. So it's great to be working and have such a strong coverage from the Caribbean areas at World Travel Market again this year.
Okay, I have a last question for you. The taxpayers back in the region, you need to say how important it is for these tourist boats to be here,
Yeah.
because it's the biggest event, why you should be here, just to know what is going on then.
Caribbean exposure at World Travel Market is extremely important to the travel trade, not just for the UK but the whole European area, and it's that reach out to this market to have those opportunities over the 4 days of the event, to have those one-to-one discussions and create that business and generate that enthusiasm so that people go and travel back into the area over the next year or a couple of years going forward. It's so important to keep that branding and exposure at the forefront of people's minds and to keep educating people about those destinations, because there's new offerings and new products within those regions that people can be educated about and learn about and become enthusiastic about.